phone holder. I don't have a phone holder, guys. I'm gonna look in your faces right now because I don't have a phone holder. I don't know where I'm gonna put you guys for the duration of the drive. I guess I could charge though. Good morning to everybody. Happy Sunday. I'm waiting for the car to warm up. I'm about to go on a drive. So good morning to everybody. Diana, good morning. Thank you for all the support. The show support, thank you. I'm trying to find a place to set the phone so you guys can ride with me. Without the phone falling. Are you gonna fall? It's gonna fall, isn't it? It's gonna fall. This is why I don't go live while I drive, guys, because hope you guys are having a good weekend. Mine so far has been alright. I worked yesterday, then got off about 11 o'clock, went and got my hair cut. Not too happy with the haircut, but then I gotta remind myself I'm in the process of growing some of my hair out so I can do something different with it. But yeah, man, you know, I'm so used to having short hair that I'm not. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning. Sorry, I can't really see the names. Good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for stopping in. Yeah, just so the haircut went all right. I booked it with the wrong barber, the right place, but the wrong barber. So the guy was there though. He hit me up right before I got there too. He was like, "Hey man, I was just texting you." I was like, "I know, dude." I was like, "I booked it with the other guy though, so it's okay." Today I gotta go drop off these diapers and wipes for the twins. Other than that, I don't have much planned. So I'm hoping that the phone stays right where it's at. I've been thinking about doing a couple of videos where I read some of the journals that I had while I was, locked up, so I could just go and rehash some of the thoughts that I had, some of the things that I was doing while I was there. I don't know, honestly. I'm not sure, guys. Hi Mia. Thank you for coming in. I'm fairly new to this whole thing anyways. I'm still learning how to manage the app. There's a couple of videos that were blocked because I was playing the radio or like my TV was playing in the background. So I've got to remember to not play anything in the background while I'm doing this. I gotta get a phone holder, a phone thing for the, I can't go ahead and drive. This is probably where I want it. Like right there. That would be perfect. I can still see, but right here is too much. I feel like this would be too much. But there's nowhere to click it to. But like I said, I'll probably read some of the journaling that I had while I was locked up. Just some of the goals that I had oriented towards what I was doing. Like I tell you guys, stay positive. Always think about what you want. Think about how to get it. Always think good about yourselves. That's what got me through a lot of bad situations. My positive mentality. I used to not think of it as a superpower, but it's a superpower, guys. being positive, staying positive, it's a very huge superpower that when other people try to bring you down, they just can't understand why, like, oh, I'm name calling him, or I'm, starting rumors behind his back, or, like whatever. It's not going to matter. As long as you guys are there for yourselves, as long as you guys are real with yourselves about what you need to do, what you want in life, that's all that matters. Shoot, I just hate that we don't have music we can play while I'm driving because I'll get copyrighted. Obviously, I can't read my journals while I'm driving because I'm driving. So, again, I'm going to try to set the phone up somewhere so you guys can ride with. See, if I was a passenger, this is perfect. It's like, boop, right there. But I'm not riding passenger. If I had somebody to ride with me, then hello, Jones family. Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm gonna do some laundry too as soon as I drop off these diapers and stuff. Other than that, guys, car's getting warmed up, so always warm up your car before you leave. Kind of how like you should always warm up before you exercise, or warm up period. Beginning of the day, I did my stretches. I didn't do my live this morning while stretching. I feel like those get kind of boring after a while. Unless some of you guys join in, that'd be cool, but it's pretty early in the morning, and I don't even know if you guys watch them later on. I gotta go back to my dashboard and see which ones get played and which ones don't. Again, thank you guys so much for the support, the viral support from all you guys. Huge family. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. It's been a journey. We started at the beginning of the year, February, March. It's going on, so we're going on 9-10 months now, guys. Strong, and it's great. So, all right, Mia, we'll see you back in a few. Yeah, it's been a wild place for me, mentally, emotionally, physically. Physically, I feel better. I've been pushing myself every day, weekly, monthly, just to stay on track. Emotionally, it's been a roller coaster because I wasn't sure where I was going to be at, who I was going to end up with. As you guys know, the girls' moms. One of them is in a relationship or was in a relationship. Cassandra, she wants nothing to do with the relationship, and I don't blame her. She's doing great. She's doing phenomenal. They've been doing their thing. They're strong, independent women, and they haven't needed me for the last 3 years. And that's reassuring, but also kind of like a slap to the face saying, dang, dude, like these women don't need you. They're strong, smart, hardworking women that have been taking care of what needs to be taken care of as mothers. So now as a guy coming home, I feel like now I have to redeem myself more than anything, not for anybody else, but for myself, that I can be a good father, a good boyfriend / husband to somebody later on in life, and more so just better every day that I can sleep okay at night, regardless of my past, regardless of what people say, think, or feel about me. Life is good, guys. I'm working, I got money in my bank, I got a car, I got my phone fixed. I keep communication with the kids. Everything's going really well in life right now, and I appreciate it. You guys are always there to reassure me as well on days that I'm down. So thank you for all that. I don't know if I want to try this phone thing again, because last time I dropped it. All right. It looks like it's working. Cool. We'll see once we get to moving. No! Fuck! I just deleted a conversation! Damn it! How do you do it? How do you undo it? How do you archive a message? Oh my god! No! There's a bunch of pictures in there I haven't saved yet. Oh. Okay. Woo-wee! I thought I deleted the messages. Okay. Here we go. But yeah, like I was telling you guys, journaling was really good while I was locked up. I never did it while I was in school or, after school. I think I used to draw a lot. I used to do a lot of drawing, well, sketching. Yeah, drawing, sketching. So that was cool. That always kept my mind idle, going. It's always good to keep your mind busy. A lot of times it was just me journaling to myself to read back later on, like, hey man, this is where you're at right now, this is what you were thinking, remember what it feels like to be in here, alone and without the capability of calling people, like regardless of what movies show and the shows tell you and whatnot, like you gotta wait in line to get on the phone to talk to people. That's even if you have money in your account. It costs like $1.50. Yeah, it's like $1.50 for like a 15-minute phone call that feels like it probably lasts, maybe 3-4 minutes. Like I swear it feels like it goes by so quick. But it sucks not having the privileges we have out here to just text somebody, call somebody. All your text messages have to get read by the officers before they get sent out. I mean, not in front of you, but like in the office somewhere. I'm sure someone's job is to read all the messages before they get sent out. Make sure there's no crazy messages. So being able to communicate with people now is, to me, a luxury. It's nice. Like even when people say stuff like online, bad comments and stuff, like it's funny because it's, you're communicating with somebody. That's cool. Like it is what it is. But again, I'm driving out of town right now, so there's a lot of stoplights. So if I stop mid-sentence, guys, I'm either having a brain fart or I'm having to pay attention to the road. But yeah, huge announcement. My sister, she was telling me that on TikTok she hit 2 million likes or 2 million subscribers. Something hit 2 million. That's a lot. That's a huge number. I know I played it off and told her, I jokingly was like, oh, I'm catching up on YouTube. I got one of my shorts has like 50,000 views or something. I think it's like 50,000 views. One of my older ones. And I think it's mainly because the guys just don't like it that I said, like karma's a bitch, basically. So just be good to people, man. Like guys, I know they say it's cool to play these girls. I mean, and girls too nowadays, man. Y'all getting savage, bro. Girls and guys out here getting savage. Like in general, people just love one another. But first of all, love yourselves more than anything. Love yourselves, and then it'll just become easy to love one another. That's what I didn't understand before. I had a hard time loving myself. So what I would do is I would siphon the love from others. I would tell my girlfriend, love bomb them all the time, would be with them all the time, and crowd them to the point where they felt like they needed me. Or I would, mentally make them feel like they needed me. So it was very narcissistic. It was very manipulative. And now what I do to change that is, I've learned to be by myself, appreciate myself, and just love myself, basically. So that's really the secret, guys. If you love yourself, love what you do on a daily basis, life will be all right. I used to think money was important. I used to think money was, you know, the cure-all. It's not. Like I said, for 2 years I had nothing. I literally had to survive off of $50 a month. Because that's what I was getting paid. It's not like I could just go to the store and buy whatever. You know, you can only order every so often. And I hate to say it, but like the younger gens got it right. School is like prison. School is like jail. So I'd much rather my kids get homeschooled or get a GED. Sorry for the son. Because I feel now that schools are the precursor to society and government taking over your mind or your life. Because everything we learned in school manipulated us to what we believe now. I'm 35, right? And as I grew up, I remember us as kids were expected to walk home. You know? If you walked home, as long as you got home before the lights turned on at night, you're fine. I mean, I think that's where like the 72-hour thing came up missing. Because they wouldn't report, you can't get reported missing till like 72 hours. Because, you know, we would go to a friend's house or run away. That doesn't happen anymore, you know? I hear a lot more. I used to hear as a kid a lot more about running away because your family was fucked up. Your family was crazy or you're going through some crazy shit. Now, all I hear is, or I see on YouTube and on the news, people committing, you know, unaliving themselves. Gaming over, you know? They were gaming over instead of running away. Why? Because now that's what society has us, the government wants us believing, you know, like, oh, they're so messed up. They're so messed up because of their family, so they took their lives. You know? Back when, like I said, when I was a kid, I was like, man, if my family is pissing me off, I'm gonna run away. I'll grab a bag of bread, a can of peanut butter, and some jelly maybe, and take off running. You know, and I'll find somewhere to go. But we get brainwashed. Even in prison. See those guys get told something every day. I literally sat there one day and I'm looking around, and not to try to cause any issues, but I told the guy next to me, I said, yeah, there's about 20 guards in this moment around us. There's about 1,000 of us prisoners. I told them, even if they were all to spray us down, they only have so many bullets. And technically, they can't even do that anymore these days. So if prisoners were to rise up, they have a fighting chance. Everybody's more scared of a wasp, of a bee, you know, because it flies and it stings. But you ever see how the ants take over? And like the animal channels and all that? Oh, when one of those wasps get caught up by the ants, you're right, the wasp and the bees fly, and they probably survive more and whatnot. But, like I said, the moment the ants get a hold of them, it's game over. And that's what we gotta do. We just gotta get a hold of them. But nonetheless, that's why I'm so adamant at telling you guys, stay you, be you. Don't copy the shorts. I mean, yeah, the algorithm, you know, do the trends, but don't get caught up in them. Do a trend, make one up your own. Do a challenge, post your own challenge. You know? Because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but even if you're serving steak and you got the most fire steak ever, but that's how you know how to cook? Shit. I might not even come over more than once or twice. That's all you got, is steak. Shit. Try burning some chicken once, you know? Even if it comes out burnt, at least you tried it. Look. That's the biggest dilemma that I see right now on social media. And there's a point behind it. Like I said before, MySpace, even the name, MySpace, you were able to have so many things on it. And not to be reliving the past, but this is me just brainstorming out loud to try to get ideas on making another app, or you guys create another app or a website or a game system or whatever that makes it your own. You know? Because online is here to stay. That's one thing we won't be changing. They say AIs will be popping off pretty soon, so I believe that. I've missed the last 2 waves, people. Don't think. Whatever you do that you love, whatever you're doing that you love, don't ever doubt it. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Now I'll have to come back and clip this later on. But in middle school, I remember having career day, and I don't know if you guys have it anymore these days, but we used to have career day. The whole day would be of all the different people with different careers that would come into school. You got an engineer, you got a doctor, you got a fireman, you got a police officer, you got, you know, whatever. Well, I remember reading the title entrepreneur. And I remember hearing that word in a movie where they basically were explaining like an entrepreneur is his own boss, you know, like that's somebody that's their own boss, a business person, or, you know, whatever. And so in my mind I grasped it because growing up, my mom always sold food. You know, I come from a food service family, you could say, because my grandpa in Mexico sells tacos. My mom sells tacos. My uncle, her brother sells tacos. Her sister, my aunt, doesn't sell tacos, but she had her own like beauty shop, her own store, all kinds of stuff. So we come from a customer service family, I guess you could say. And when I heard that word, it clicked with me. So I was like, oh, cool. So we're entrepreneurs, you know, like we know what we're doing. Well, I clearly remember showing up that day and that guy telling me, that I was the only kid that signed up that whole day for entrepreneur. You know, and he would tell me, you know, that it's hard and it was a hard job and it's not easy to explain. And I remember leaving that room with more questions than when I walked in. And at the time, I didn't understand if that was a good thing. But looking back at it now, in retrospect, I think that was the best thing. So I truly wish I would have remembered more our conversation of what we were talking about that day. Because it was just literally I had a conversation with him for like an hour and a half. And to be discouraged throughout life as far as not doing something that is wildly unsecure, like you don't know what you're doing, you don't know the outcome, you have no idea. You know, when I kept telling people that in my family or just myself, they're like, oh, that's crazy, you know, just be a doctor, just be a lawyer, just be an engineer. So I pushed that to the side because even before my entrepreneur drive, like my curiosity for it, I was really keen on and really for a long time thought that I was going to be like a cook, a chef really, not a cook, a chef. And I used to tell my mom that because, like I said, I grew up watching my mom cook food for everybody else. I watched her, you know, sell food at places. So I loved it. You know, she loved what she did. I loved watching how much joy she did in doing something that, you know, helped us, you know. And so I used to say, oh, I'm going to be a chef, Mom. And she's like, oh, babe, you know, it's funny, that's cute and all, you know, it's great, you know, it's for your family, but she's like, you know, there's no money in it, you know, besides what we make, you know. You see your grandpa, he works every day. He has great food and well respected, but she said, you know, there's nothing in it really. It's a hard industry to get into. Well, I mean, looking back at it now, you know, look at all the chefs that are males now. You know, they have their own shows, they have their own cooking shows, their own channels, their own books. You know, they didn't stop. They believed in themselves. They had the drive to keep going. You know, so whatever it is you do, whether you draw, whether you write, whether you dance, whether you sing, whether you talk, doesn't matter, just keep doing it. You know, I will forever regret that I've lost 15 years because I was in a prison of my own self-doubt, my own fear. Those emotions are everyone has those emotions. Everyone's scared to try something new. Everyone's scared to, you know, go to that new place, that new thing. Everybody is. But the only difference is that the other people don't let that stop them. You can be those other people. You know? If you're a girl that wants to do football or wrestling, go ahead. If you're a guy that wants to get into ballet, to dance, go ahead. You know, if you've never sung in your life in the shower but want to try it, go ahead. You never know. You know, and it's not even just like people are like, oh, well, that's not gonna get me famous. That's not gonna make me popular. It's not for that. Like the biggest thing is do something that makes you happy. That I dance at work. You know what I'm saying? Like people probably see me at work moving around, dancing and stuff, and they're like, man, that guy's weird, that guy's crazy. I don't care. At the end of the day, I had fun. I enjoyed my job. I had a little exercise as I was moving around. I'm happy. It made me happy at that time. So I can talk about it in the past tense that I was happy. That's my thing. My message for today, you know, just do what you guys are doing, enjoy life, because we honestly don't know how long we have.